Second point of the day: concern of stuffy nose. Pay more attention. This was, I had a stuffy nose, and basically, I was aware of my nose was stuffy, but if I look deeper at that, if I pay more attention to the reality of the moment, then it is like stuffy on one surface level, but then when you pay a subtler attention to what's happening, then that becomes
Then you realize it's not as stuffy as you initially...
No, it's still as stuffy, but it's no longer a concern. Actually, let me grab some.
He's gonna grab something. Something that's somewhat related to that is how things like intense sensations, like pain and so on, often it's the initial response to it and the mental suffering to it that makes the pain matter, like that makes it important. Where if you have awareness of it, it's not as important. But it's still there.
What I wrote down here was, if I'm concerned about labeling my plugged nose, then I'm not paying enough attention, subtle attention, to the breath as it is. Look deeper than the most gross, obvious reality / label. So it's like if the concern of this nose is plugged, it's just an opportunity to say, actually, just pay more attention to what's really happening, and the subtler levels of the plugged nose are it's still plugged, but there's a different awareness or thing that happens that makes it less.
It's less
problem.
important. It loses power.
Yeah.
Power is like an expenditure. Like anything that has like a lot of power or whatever, that means it's literally expending into the universe, and that's why it seems to have a lot of power. But as soon as you start to develop awareness, which is, unless you have resources for that, tools for that, it's kind of tricky when we're saying these kinds of things. Like, pay attention to the subtle levels.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a
lot of skill that you have to hone and develop.
Yeah.
A lot of, you have to know what you're doing, just hard, and most of this world doesn't exactly.
I mean, even for me, like, I could hear this intellectually or whatever, but the layer of experience that I had with that the other day was not intellectual, and it was something that I hadn't really touched on that level prior.
Yeah.
As much, I might have understood the idea and had it on some level, but this time it was like,
when you see it, then it's like, oh, the whole time. Could have always been like that. But